Hi, Erin.
Yes,
Just real quick before we start, I wanted to say a couple of things.
sure.
We've received a lot of our furniture.
Great.
And so, anyway, yeah, anytime you would like to come over for a house tour, Bob and I would love to walk you through. Just let
We are
us know
ready.
that it's a convenient time for you guys because we just want to be sure that one of us is here. And actually, Pam and Clint were just here on Tuesday
Yeah.
and they saw our house for the first time with the most of the furniture in it, and they loved it and it was
Yay.
wonderful. And the last thing I was going to say is Pam did text me some of the wedding pictures, and it was a beautiful wedding. Your daughter was a beautiful bride. She looks a lot like you, and it looked like it was a lovely wedding, and I'm so happy for you and congratulations. It's just wonderful news.
So thank you so much. It was a very good time. It was a very good time, and she looked absolutely,
Beautiful.
she looked beautiful. She looked
Gorgeous.
like a Hollywood starlet, an old,
Yes,
she's a pretty girl. But
yes,
that
she
day I
did.
could not take my eyes off of her.
Right, right. No, and it was a beautiful gown and everything was just beautiful.
Thank you.
Just gorgeous.
Thank you. And we had a real good time, as you might have seen from, I don't know what pictures Pam sent you.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun.
We had a real good time. Hey, welcome to Living Richmond, Virginia, and I'm Erin, and you're here again for another local scoop about Moseley, Virginia, and I have my wonderful clients and friends, Diane and Bob, with me today. Diane and Bob, thank you so much for being here today.
Hello, and thank you for having us.
And I am so excited to see you guys sitting in what I know is your beautiful new home in Moseley, and can't wait to talk all about your exciting move to this special place.
Yes, thank you. Well, we love it here. We live in Moseley, Virginia, which is in Chesterfield County. And thanks to Erin Melton, she really showed us all around Richmond once we decided to move down to this area. And we really fell in love with living south of the James. It was really very nice and just beautiful suburbs, access to quality health care. It had all the amenities.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not too far from the city.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, for Valentine's Day, Bob took me out on a delayed Valentine's Day. We saw the Richmond City Ballet do Romeo and Juliet, and it was wonderful. The dancing was terrific, and the choreography was marvelous. And the Richmond Symphony Orchestra, they provided the music. And so it was just a top-notch production, really. And so there's so much to see and do in this area, and we really love it. And the people are friendly
They
and
really are.
very neighborly. And so we're very happy here.
I am so glad to hear that.
Huh?
And definitely talk to us a little bit about, because it's not like you moved from this little teeny town and now you're living in this big metropolis and you've never been exposed to all of these things you've been talking about. I mean, you moved from a pretty big area. Where did you guys move down from again?
Yes, that's correct. Actually, we moved from Fairfax, Virginia. We lived in Northern Virginia. And we loved it while we were there.
Mm-hmm.
We both had jobs there that kept us in the area. And so anyway, we actually met in Northern Virginia, and we got married there, and we lived there for several years. And I had always loved Richmond, and I had a friend that lived in the area. And I kept visiting her and admiring the area in which she lived. And actually, she also lives in Chesterfield County.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just asked her out of the blue one day, gee, this house is really nice. And, what can we expect to purchase for a certain amount of money? And she told me, and I was really surprised that I say in Richmond, Virginia, you do get more house for your money
For sure.
as opposed in Northern Virginia. And the other thing about Northern Virginia, we had just both reached a point in our lives where we had lived in the house for 25 years. Bob had been there for 30 years. And he had just retired. And so it was a good time to move. And so we got in touch with Erin, you, and you showed us all around. And then we decided that, we decided to live south of the James, and also that we decided to build a house. And so we built a house and we moved in mid-November of 2021. And we've been very happy ever since. It's really nice. And I'll tell you, we certainly do not miss the traffic jams of Northern Virginia. It's very different down here.
Definitely. Do you feel like when you guys went to see Romeo and Juliet, I mean, and I know that the Richmond Symphony is amazing, and the ballet and the theater performances that are down here are amazing as well. But I bet you were used to going to the Kennedy Center. How do you think it compares? Because I know it's a big shift.
It's every bit as good and every bit as professional. We don't feel that we have missed out on anything.
I love it.
We did go to the Kennedy Center a lot while we lived in Northern Virginia. And it was very good. And we really liked it. And it was great. But I'll tell you, the performance that we saw down here in Richmond was absolutely outstanding. And it was really fantastic. We loved it. And that's another reason why we decided to move down to this area is that it offered all the amenities.
The other thing is, even though we feel like we're out in the country here,
yes,
it's a 20-minute drive to get downtown, and parking was fairly easy and inexpensive too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we all know when we try to go into DC, I mean, I remember, because I grew up in Northern Virginia for a certain time as well. I remember it was really exciting to go see the shows, the Kennedy Center, and it's great to go into DC and do fun things even as an adult. But that traffic and the parking is just...
Oh, it's unbelievable. It really is. Right. So anyway, yeah.
It's nice to get like a little bit of all, the nice things of a very cultured area without all the really obnoxious things.
Right. Area. It is. It's not too overgrown, and it's really just a wonderful area. And the schools here are very good. And it's a great place to live. We're empty nesters now. However, the schools are very good. It's a great place to raise a family. Yeah,
for sure. Bob and Diane, if you were to move within the Richmond area and money was no object, where would you move and why?
I would move right back here to Moseley. I would live in this exact same house. We love it. It's wonderful. We're very fortunate that it's a custom built home. However, it ended up that the builder had this fabulous floor plan. And we were very fortunate that you got in touch with the builder and you showed us a house that he had just placed under contract that was exactly like it. And coincidentally, it was in the very same subdivision.
Yep.
So it ended up that you were able to arrange for us to take a tour with the builder through that other home. And at that time, it had just gone under contract. And we met with the builders. We walked through the house. We fell in love with it. It was great, really nice. And then they did tell us that they could build a home just like it, but they would have to wait for the developer to open up a new section of this subdivision before they could start to build the house. And they did warn us that, you know, the lot prices were going to be a bit different than the home that we had walked through.
Right.
So anyway, we worked, you and your team and us, we all worked together. We were looking at other homes at the time. And to make a long story short, it ended up that when the builders did submit their estimates of the homes that we were considering and the cost to build, this house, without a doubt, it had the best floor plan. And we really liked the subdivision. The lot was good. A lot and where you're going to be placing your home is very, very important.
It is.
And so anyway, we moved in mid-November, and we absolutely love the house. It's a great house. It's a ranch style home, except it does have a small second floor with just one bedroom and one bath upstairs. And that we're using as a guest suite. So that way they have their privacy. They've got their own beautiful bedroom and private bath. And we really just love this home. Really, it's really nice. And living on one level right now for us is great. It's a great neighborhood. We've met some of our neighbors. They're lovely people. And also our subdivision, you know, they've offered, you know, some social activities.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. And so they had a welcome spring party at the clubhouse, which was a lot of fun. And we got to meet some of our neighbors there. Yeah. And so anyway, it's just a great community. And we look forward to the pool opening in the summer.
Yes.
And
sure.
yeah, so it's all good.
Bob, what are your favorite things about the house or the neighborhood in general? Or would you move somewhere else? Or you're like, I'm done with moving, Erin. Don't even try.
No, I like the house. Living on one level is very nice. The other thing is the maintenance is a lot lower than my old house, which was like 60 years old. So
yep.
Having a brand new house is nice, although there's still things to do on it, though.
Of course.
Get a tweak to what I really want, but it's, I mean, there's a few things, but never mind about that.
What would you say you like best about the neighborhood and where you're living?
I kind of like it has kind of a rolling hill type area to it. It's lots of nice trees around and walking paths, and so it's fun just to walk around and see the ponds and everything, and the wildlife, the birds, and the mainly lots of ducks in this area too.
Yeah. Driving home today from work, I saw this beautiful heron flying right over Swift Creek Reservoir, and he's just so magnificent. And I've seen him a couple of times before, and it's just beautiful. I mean, it really, the wildlife around here is lovely, and the reservoir is beautiful, and everything about it is great. Yeah. And lots of good restaurants nearby, and it really has everything. It has all the amenities, which was another thing that we did consider before we decided to move down here. I mean, we wanted to be sure that we would we don't feel like we sacrificed anything.
That's good.
And we did make a list of everything that we were looking for, and it checked all the boxes. And so anyhow, yeah, so it's all good.
That's excellent. That is excellent. Have you guys had anyone stay at the house yet? Have you had your first guest upstairs yet?
No, interestingly enough, but I think that once the weather warms up a little more, because this film is being done in early April of 2022.
Yep.
Our weather hasn't really warmed up a lot, but we've got the feeling, based on what people have said,
it's coming.
That once the weather warms up for good after Easter, or around beginning of May, we'll have lots of visitors, which
Yes.
is great.
You're
Yeah.
ready. You're ready for it because now you have all your appliances. You actually can cook, right?
Yes,
All your
yes, that's
furniture.
right. Yeah.
Everything is all set. That's terrific. That is
Mhm.
terrific. You mentioned some really good restaurants. Do you have any favorites?
Well, we love the Boathouse.
Oh, yes.
Really nice, really nice. We went there for Thanksgiving, and actually we went there for Valentine's date. And but there's a lot of good ones, and there's a very good Chinese restaurant in Midlothian. And we've been there a few times, and we've found all kinds of good restaurants. So yeah, there's plenty of places to eat, and it's all delicious food. Yeah.
Excellent. That's excellent. Do you feel like your evenings are different now? Like you lived very close to all the hubbub. Is it different outside at night?
Well,
I don't
I don't know. I don't think so.
nothing real big, but yeah.
Yeah, nothing real huge. I mean, again, we don't feel like we've really sacrificed anything when we moved down here. So anyhow, but things are great. We couldn't be happier. Yeah,
I love
things
it.
are great. Yeah.
I love it. I love it when it's that come full circle. You guys
Oh,
came
yeah.
through. You
Yeah.
explained what you were looking for. I think we started working together like October of 2020, somewhere that time frame, September,
Right.
October, we were talking.
That's correct.
And about a year later, you guys are in, you manifested exactly what you wanted to happen.
Yes, yes,
Amazing.
exactly. That's right.
It's very, very lovely.
Mhm.
What are some memories that you may have from working with me or working with my team that you could share with us?
Well, I thought that number one, you were extremely dedicated and very knowledgeable. In fact, one thing that I do recall is that once Bob and I made the final decision that we were going to sign the contract and, sign on the dotted line with the builder, you called us up and you couldn't make the meeting because you had come down with COVID. And so what you did is you called in and you were essentially attending the meeting over the phone while you had COVID. And that was before there was a vaccine. And that really impressed us as being very dedicated and also very knowledgeable. That, you did ask a few questions too. And then once you told us, okay, this particular term is fine, then we moved on and we moved ahead. Then when we had our, I just thought you did an outstanding job. The other thing is that because we did build during the pandemic, there were some supply issues that the builder was encountering on his side. And yet you worked with the builder and then you reported back to us and you let us know what we could do. And lo and behold, it all worked out great. For example, some of our appliances that we had selected, it was not going to be available when we were hoping to close on the house.
Right.
And you worked with the builder and also the appliance people. And the appliance people came back to us and gave us some alternatives that were very comparable in quality and price. And on one or two of those appliances, we did make that decision to go ahead and switch out. And so we were able to keep the closing date that we were hoping for. And I'll tell you, the appliances are wonderful.
Good.
There has been no issue whatsoever. And we're convinced that, you all were exactly right. There was no reason to, wait and hold out for something else, because this is what we have is every bit as good.
Good.
So
Good.
Right.
yeah.
I
So,
love that. We knew how important it was from the very get-go, how everything needed to fall into its proper place. And we had a little bit of a window for error, just
Right.
in case. But as we got down to that home stretch with you selling your home, transitioning and all that, everyone could say, no, maybe you want to hold out for this appliance. And I'm like,
yeah.
The bridge, they've got this all lined up. They've been planning this forever. We've been working hand in hand with the other realtor to get everything so they can line it up and move from one house to the next.
Right.
Right.
And it was really good to see that happen, for sure.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Right.
And so it did. It all worked out beautifully. Yeah. And we love our appliances. They're fantastic. And I've heard news reports right now that, you know, if someone insists upon getting the appliance brand that they want, they might wait up to a year now for that particular brand. And so, you know, that's really something to, yeah. I mean, again, we're very, very happy with what we select, what we got, what we have, excuse me. And in fact, one thing I will say is that our house, it kind of has that open floor plan, so that the kitchen is adjacent to the family living area. And the dishwasher is quiet as can be. It works so well. It's very efficient. And I would never know that there was any difference between the dishwasher that I ended up with vis-a-vis the one that I initially selected.
Good. Bob, how's your shed coming?
Oh,
my shed is good. It's like 4 times bigger than my old shed in Fairfax, and I got all the hangers on it, and I can fit everything in there now. So
I love it.
Yeah.
and also it blends in perfectly with the house too. I mean,
perfect.
And that the HOA loves that too. So
yes,
it's got the same roof, same pitch of the roof, shingles, siding, everything. Looks great.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's like the little mini version of your house, and which keeps both the HOA and Diane very pleased.
Yes.
It also has power. It also has power to it too.
The power's there. Yay.
And the other thing I like about this house is we have in-ground sprinklers, which of course we never had in Fairfax. So that's a nice feature.
Right. And you mowed the lawn just the other day, right?
I mowed the lawn twice,
Yeah. And this lawn is not as large as our former lawn. And but you know, so I'm quite relieved and happy because in those dog days of July and August, Bob was out there. He was smart in that he'd usually break it up into 2 days of mowing the lawn.
Exactly.
But still, it's a lot. And so, but he's mowed the lawn.
Good. Mowed it twice. So nice, healthy new lawn at that. I mean,
it's a nice sod. And
twice.
We, the actual layout of the house is so much, the footprint of the house is larger than the old house because we had a 3-story house before, and now we're 2 stories, but so there's not as much yard, which is a nice feature.
It is nice. Just enough green, plus a sprinkler system, plus your own mini Bob cave with power.
Right.
Plus I got a garage too now, which I can park my car in. So I got a lot of free space. Yeah.
A lot of good things. A lot of good things for sure.
Yeah.
You guys
and I actually have enough closet space for my clothes, believe it or not.
Finally.
So that's all good.
That is excellent for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today and telling me all about your absolutely beautiful house. I can sincerely say, of all my clients that have built a home Yours is, don't tell anyone. It's the prettiest one yet.
Oh, thank you.
For sure.
Thanks.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. And thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Living in Richmond, Virginia. Remember, leave everything better.
And in fact, I even mentioned this to Pam a while back. Bob and I have now officially joined a church down here after a lot of, shopping around for churches. We found one that we really, really like.
Good.
And already we've joined the choir. And we're singing with the choir.
Oh,
and that was it. This is another aspect of something that we do not miss at all from Northern Virginia. I mean, and yet the other thing is I didn't want to, come across, talk about religion and stuff on, a show like that, because you just don't know how it's going to resonate with some people, But we're really, really very blessed and very fortunate. And it's a wonderful church, great ministry, beautiful worship service. We worship now at the Episcopal Church of the Redeemer in Midlothian.
Got it.
And so it's really, really nice. Yeah.
It's nice to hear. I'm just very happy to see, because obviously I help people do this a lot. But no matter what anyone thinks, it isn't for me like it's all done. When you're moved in, and that's wonderful, but it's good to see people happy.
Oh, yes.
I don't want to see people like, okay, we did this, and it was like, maybe they don't admit it, but you can just feel it, that it's like, what did we just do?
Yeah.
And I get that vibe from you guys, which is good.
I didn't say it during the video because I didn't want to do anything inappropriate. But we did look at Williamsburg too. That was on our list.
Right.
And we visited, we liked it. Bob was never much of a fan of it. I mean, it's a college town, which we had heard from a lot of people, and actually a lot of people I know too, they went to grad school at William and Mary, and they all commented the same thing. They said, well, Williamsburg, it's great to go to school there. But they all ended up with jobs in either Richmond or Northern Virginia. And they just said, they would not want to live there year round, And so anyway, and then, we also found out too that the hospital system down there, it's not quite as good as Bon Secours. I mean, the access to quality medical care here is outstanding.
It really is.
And and that was another reason why we decided to come to Richmond too, was access to quality healthcare. And it's important. I mean, so anyway,
That's good.
Yeah, good. Well, it's wonderful to see you, Erin, and we look forward to seeing you on the 20th. And again, congratulations. It was a beautiful wedding, and Mackenzie was a gorgeous bride, and he's a handsome man.
He is a handsome guy.
The bridegroom, And we wish you all every happiness. It's wonderful news, really.
Thank you so much. Well, I can't wait to see you on the 20th and to grab a bite to eat. And even if it's easier, like we grab a bite to eat and bring it back to your house, whatever you want to do.
Oh, yeah. That's an idea.
We might actually let Bob eat too. Bob.
That's right. That's a good idea. Let's bring home lunch for the four of us.
That's right. And then Bob will send you back to your little hut in the back.
Yeah.
Here's your bread, your crusted bread and water. Back to your bed.
No. So anyway, that would be great, because actually we got the furniture for our breakfast nook, and
we just need to use it.
Oh, and we've got the dining room, and wait till you see it. It's really fantastic.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Time to prison all these tables.
Right. Okay.
Awesome. Well, you guys have a great afternoon. And it is going to get warm down here soon enough. We had a little taste, but it's coming. Like once we hit May, we're pretty set.
Yeah.
Just get ready for a sea of yellow in the next week or so. Welcome to Richmond.
Right.
Yellow fields.
It's all good. And have a wonderful weekend, Erin. Take care.
You too.
Thanks.
See you later.
Bye.
Hey guys, this is Erin. If this is your first time to our channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living in Richmond, Virginia, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit subscribe, and that cute little bell too, so every time we release a new video, you're notified.